Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorna's story. We're we're jumping ahead a little bit as you've spent a lot of time loitering in the in the Marigard mess hall, I believe.
Yes.
Um, it is about maybe 5 in the evening when we pick up again, and I'd like you to make a roll for me.
Okay.
I need you to roll me a d12.
5.
Okay. As you and your party are lounging in the mess hall, basically just shooting the shit, playing cards, passing the time. You've been here for a while. Um, a couple of you have kicked, like Tierra's kicked back, put his feet up, and he's napping. Uh, Skolna is nowhere to be seen, um, but you imagine she's nearby.
Right. I'm sure we didn't even notice her leave either.
No, not really. She seems to keep reappearing and disappearing as Skolna's wont to do. Uh, when so there's not like doors to the mess hall. It's like a big wall divider with two entrances that lead out to the actual foyer where Persh is. And you hear familiar, heavy booted footsteps coming into the mess hall. When you turn around and look, Lilith is entering the room. She looks tired. She looks filthy, like she spent a night in the brig and didn't get any sleep. But she looks over at you, Lorna, and she says, I guess you kept your word.
I do that sometimes.
I was like, don't even start.
She'll kind of gesture her to come over.
She kind of cautiously approaches the table where Tier has awoken and everyone is now paying attention and stopped. Like, I don't know what you and Anscombe were doing, but now Anscombe is like, his elbows are on the table and he's looking up at Lilith as she's approaching. Nore is trying to get a read on the situation. She's insight checking Lorna right now.
Yeah.
So what does Nore get? Let me roll insight for her. Okay. 21.
Well, that's pretty good. Lorna looks relieved that she's out. Um, she looks maybe a little nervous because, yesterday Lilith tried to kill her. But she also looks a little excited, like they're going to start working towards something that she really wants. Both of them presumably really want, which is to get out of this bullshit with the master. And it seems like Lilith is down to join them, hopefully.
Okay. Nore just seems to like fold her arms and sit back and wait and
Hmm.
watch as Lilith approaches. And Lilith will grab a chair from a nearby table and she like pulls it around and sits down. Thanks.
Um, so we've already talked about this. She kind of gestures to the rest of her teammates, and they're for it, if you are still.
Let's be real clear about what we're talking about here.
Hmm.
For what?
Um, well, I assume a bit of a vengeance quest.
Yeah. But Lorna, no offense, because it's also my problem. She's strong. I don't know if you saw her organization.
Bits and pieces of it.
In Port Sancture, They used to call what she ran the backyard dock.
I haven't heard that, but sure.
Anything that came through her business. And I'm trusting that we're kind of protected in here, or I wouldn't be saying this. They just say it's from the docks, but they were never talking about the actual docks. They were saying it's from the backyard. That's what the master was saying, is that she's the master of the backyard.
I don't think this is going to be easy, if that's what you're implying.
I was getting there. It's a big organization. And you and I got close to her. But I mean, you remember the fucking orc muscle that was just hanging out.
Yeah, didn't catch his name. Don't know if he has one.
She shrugs.
Just a big, mean piece of meat, if I could tell.
I don't remember ever seeing her without him.
She showed up here without him.
Did she?
I don't think so. She thinks back to there was a point where when the master visited that I rolled a natural 20 on a perception, and like the master did a signal and like a whole bunch of people kind of dispersed from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Was that half orc or orc? Was it a half orc or an orc?
It was, well, it
Hard to
was,
tell.
it might have been a half orc, but it had very orcish features.
Right. More orc than half, but rather, she only saw that person when she first met the master. She doesn't recall seeing him when they were meeting with her in Farum, but did I even catch a glimpse of something like that? Is this a retroactive roll?
No, you've already rolled in the past. You
Mhm.
didn't see him.
But it doesn't mean he wasn't there.
Correct.
I didn't see him, but as you say, she seems dependent on him to exist in her vicinity for probably reasonable reasons.
You don't make as much money and get as powerful as she is without making a lot of enemies.
Yeah, it's true. She probably has a lot of enemies, but they're not the ones who are going to put her down.
Well, I imagine most of her enemies just want her territory.
And I don't give a shit about that, particularly.
Me neither. I want her blood. But we're still not strong enough.
No.
We need more gear. We need experience. And we need to keep her assassins off our back. Because there's a bullseye painted on me, too.
Which is why we're leaving Farum tomorrow morning. And I need to get... She gestures to the amulet that she gave Lilith. I need to get one of those really quickly.
She, like, kind of furrows her eyebrows at it, and she says, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we all need them.
Can you not? Like, is that not magic you can cast? I don't know what you know.
It is magic that can be cast. I don't believe it's within my grasp right now, and it only lasts 8 hours if I cast it.
Maybe
At
that's...
least the one I'm thinking of. It's not,
maybe that's
it's not
important,
long-term enough.
though? Like, maybe cast it when you long rest?
It's not a bad idea. I could talk to at Tabernacle tonight and see if he has something within that realm, but otherwise I'm just going to stop at
Look,
glasses.
we can't get anywhere if we're dead.
Yeah.
I can't avenge my sister if we're dead. Perce talked to me about you and what you told him about the master and your situation. He made it clear to me that I should have been more open about what was going on. He made it clear that my loyalty was in question. He cast Zone of Truth and asked me some questions. He said that I can remain a Maryguard mercenary, but only if you're willing to take custody. Like, take responsibility for me.
Vouch for you.
Yeah. So, I would understand. I know we haven't exactly been friendly, and I tried to kill
I
you.
mean, I've tried to be friendly.
Look, I get it, okay? I'm not the easiest person to get along with. But it's up to you. Hirsch
There's no
said
doubt in
to.
my mind. I want to work with you, Lilith.
Can I ask you why? You've always been so persistent.
Um, well, it started with our similar situations. We talked about that. When I first realized who you were. Um, and of course, you had your own opinion of who I was, but I thought it was nice to have someone who understood me, even if they didn't like me. And this is maybe a little embarrassing, but I've always admired your strength and your street smarts and your wisdom. Just elements of things I don't have that I found admirable in you. So,
Okay, shut up.
yes, ma'am. I'll be happy to stop talking.
You just. If you really feel that way, you just have to tell Persh. And then I'm with you. And she's not making eye contact.
Can I
She's.
insight? Is she embarrassed? Is she ashamed? Is
Roll
she
insight.
trying to hide something from me? Ooh, pretty good. 25.
She can't roll good enough to defeat that. She's trying to hide it, but she's ashamed. You get the impression of someone who regrets a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Maybe trying to
feels
kill
like a
me. Maybe
feels like
being a
a
dick to me.
someone who is at the moment feeling like a heel, like a jerk, like
Yeah.
they've been unjustified in their opinions.
Uh, I think Lorna has enough tact not to comment on it. She'll just know and say, I'll talk to Persh. We have a job in Shona. A couple weeks to get up there,
He
deal with
mentioned
it.
about a Hydra.
Yeah, I figure that's a good start in getting some more experience fighting monsters. And I would consider the master a monster in some ways.
Let's hope she doesn't have multiple heads. But I'm not.
Well, she is two-faced.
I'm not like. I haven't been on a team much. Um, I worked with a, you know, I worked with Yitron and stuff, and Kalen before, but I haven't really spent a whole lot of time on a team. So I'll be watching and just trying to follow. And she glances over at Anscombe and says, "Your lead, really." Anscombe turns to her and says, "Maybe not in all things."
What is he implying?
Roll an insight check.
Yeah. 23. I'm really good insight.
Uh, maybe he's talking about his ability to cast magic, but there is a small smirk on his face that you think
That's what I thought.
might be he's being cheeky.
Yeah. Does Lilith even gather that?
No. She's not really looking.
She's
She's
got other shit in her mind right now.
yeah. Uh it's the first time you've ever seen Lilith looking scorned.
Yeah.
Uh Lilith just kind of stays there in that seat. Not quite at the table, but near it. Um she says, I'll be here after you talk to Persh."
I don't, I was recommended this by my teammates, but being alone, you and I, is probably not a good idea while we're still in Farum.
So you want me to come with you?
Or with one of us. I don't mind you coming with me. I need to go to Glass and see if he has an amulet against detection, and tonight when we sleep, I don't know if being alone is a good idea.
Lilith like looks around at the team, and Tier says, "Oh, relax. We're all just gonna go about all together like a huge group of ducks. It'll be fine." And as he says that, he's like standing up, and there's the, "Huh?" And then suddenly, you catch the kind of streak of purple.
Oh boy.
And next to Lilith is Skolna, and Lilith has frozen because she has been surprised.
Uh-huh. I hope
Um,
Skolna plays nice. Please play nice.
Skolna says, and you hear her, even though she's quiet, "You threaten her again. Your spine is mine."
Oh, Skolna.
And Lilith, like, tries to look and see who it is, and Skolna, like, somehow, like, one hand's behind Lilith's back, and you don't see what is happening, but, like, Skolna moves like a dancer to the other side of her. So Lilith can't see who it is, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I won't."
I'm imagining there's a knife involved.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, since we've gotten that out of the way and she's promised. Skolna.
Skolna's still looking at Lilith. And Lilith just nods and says, "I meant it. I'm sorry." There is the clear sound of metal just fing off of
Yeah.
Lilith's back. You see Skolna's hand appear, and a dagger is spinning around a fingertip. It's a weird looking dagger. It's one you've never seen before. It has
Go ahead.
It has a wicked, like one side of it is clearly serrated. There is a hole in the middle of the hilt where the crossguard meets the actual handle, and it's spinning around her finger there.
That's cool.
And then it is suddenly vanishes somewhere in Skolna's clothing. And Skolna says, "Welcome to the team."
Yep. So, welcome to the team, as she said. We're the kind of gone with the name the Nightingales because I pushed it.
The nightingales, like the bird?
Yeah, just like the bird.
Okay. That's a little more flowery than I'd expect, but okay.
Well, it was me, so duh. There's this
Lilith
cool
likes to down at you, and she just goes, "Okay."
Yeah. I've got this secret. That's not really a secret. It's more of a surprise for later that you haven't seen yet, and I'm really excited about it.
What?
Or maybe you have seen it. The wings?
No. Wings?
Yeah. Well, Lorna had the wings. Her
Yeah,
tattooed
when
wings
she
had come
flew,
out,
but Lilith was held.
yeah, apprehended. So Lorna was like, "Shit, did I give it away?" It's fine. We'll talk about it later. It's not really important. I think, as I said, being alone is not a great idea. So, if you don't mind coming with me for Persh and for
It doesn't matter. Gather round. You're coming.
oh, we're
And
all going. Great.
that we are. And Tier just like bumps up next to you and says, "That's what teams are for, right?"
Close proximity.
"To keep assassins from stabbing you in the back."
I do like that aspect.
"I thought
yes.
you might, right."
Do I know if the magic bag is open at this time of day?
It's open until pretty much like sun goes down, so
But it's like 5, so it's pretty soon.
it's open for at least another hour, maybe an
Okay,
hour,
so
maybe 2.
we'll scurry. All right, well, let's talk to Persh and get this ironed out.
You head out of the actual mess hall, and then you're around the corner, and Perch is at his desk. He doesn't look up, and he says, "Lorna,
We've come to an agreement.
I thought you might."
Is there anything I have to do besides tell you that?
"Yes, there is some acknowledging that I require." You, by bringing Lilith into your team, have expanded your team from light reconnaissance to an actual infantry squad, which means your tasks in the future will be more dangerous.
I understand.
It is possible that you will be, well, not conscripted, but requested to join in martial efforts, either between Aurelia and Chaos or any other conflict in the world. That's what we have that agreement with the Arcaniums for.
Mm-hmm.
Any immediate protestations?
Well, I'm not Aurelian or Kayan, so not from me. She'll look at her party members.
There's just kind of like a group of shrugs and such. But Norre does say, does that mean we'll be fighting wars for other countries? And Perse says, for the highest payer, aye. There's kind of like a moment of quiet, and then Norre finally says, all right, I guess.
Can't see a better way to gain some experience.
Perse nods. And then he says, next, Lilith. You are under the custody and responsibility of Lorna. Hathaway, do you agree to this? Lilith nods. Lorna, do you agree to take custody and responsibility for Lilith, and all her actions being whether be beneficial or detrimental to yourself? Do you accept
Yes, I
that
do.
responsibility? Are you sure?
I do.
Very well. Lilith, you are now part of Lorna's team, the Nightingales.
Lorna's a little giddy. He said it.
He will go, like, when Lorna's clearly giddy about it, he glances up and he says, right, okay. I believe your current task is you have the Hydra assignment, a hunt for respective parts up by Shona.
Yes.
You have, I think, a month to get there?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Have I already given you transcription paper?
Let me check my inventory. Yes, I have 7 papers.
Correct. Alright. You have quite a journey ahead of you. Shona's not exactly close. You could choose to stop in August City and take the Silver Express if you'd like, but we will not cover the cost for that.
Is that a tram? I'm
It
assuming?
it is the only Earthglide tram in Aurelia. It leads. It does not lead straight to Shona. It goes from Agra City to Quarterstone Pass. But Quarterstone Pass is closer to Shona than Agra City is, or
Is it a
the edge of the
straight
Rimwood.
shot?
Yeah, it's just a straight line all the way to
I don't think we
Quarterstone
could
Pass.
do that because we have to stop in the Rimwood, so likely no.
Make a note. All right. Well, in that case, you have freedom to take horses. Make sure they come back alive, or you bring back new ones. And I wish you luck.
Understood. We'll be leaving tomorrow morning.
Very well. And he, like, makes another note. And then he looks up at your team, Lilith included. We cannot protect you outside these walls. I trust all of you are aware of the situation with Lorna and Lilith and those of another illegal organization that might try and do ill harm. And your team's kind of nod. Hirsch kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, that's good news. We can provide weapons, armor, and potions. But anything aside from that, you're on your own.
Right.
I think Maxwell was looking for you, Lorna.
Oh, I bet he is. Do you know where he is now? Can I talk to him, or?
Probably in the selections room. We've had a few new recruits appear in the last 2 hours.
All right. She'll look at her group. I think I can just go into the selection room alone.
Your group nods and just kind of loiter about in the lobby.
She'll. All right. Be right back.
Uh, as you enter the selections room, you know where to look for Maxwell, and
Mhm.
he is there on the little stool with a small pedestal, a book open. He glances up and he says, "Hello, Lorna."
Hello. I'm assuming this is about that package.
It certainly is. Right. And he reaches into his coat and he pulls out a small leather wrapped bundle. It's pretty tightly bound, so to open it would be a process. And it's about maybe 14, 16 inches long. Pretty narrow. At a guess, it looks like maybe it's a blade
Mm-hmm.
or a wand wrapped up in leather, and he hands it to you.
You said, I think it was Jewelers District. I'm pulling up my notes. Unless he wants to fill it in for me. Hold on. I got this. Taylor Huel, Augur City, Jewelers Guild.
That's right.
Just hand it off. Do I need to be discreet? Do I need to say from Maxwell?
He'll know what it is when you hand it to him.
All right.
Be careful with it.
I'm assuming I shouldn't unwrap it.
It doesn't matter if you do, but if you do, be careful. I mean, be careful either way. You'll know as soon
Is it
as you.
sharp?
Oh yeah.
And maybe Skolna should carry it, I'm sure. She's perfected moving with sharp things in her clothing.
No, there's a reason I'm giving it to you.
Oh, should I mention I have it at all to Skolna?
It doesn't matter.
Just keep it on me.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Do you take it?
Yeah, of course.
The instant you touch it,
Oh,
you
great.
feel this. The only way to describe it is it's like a crawling sensation of, well, evil. It feels corrupting through the leather. It's like cold to the touch. You feel like you want to drop it, as if like it's that revolting feeling of like you touched something slimy or something gross, but it's not, and you see it's not, but it's just that feeling.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
It's not fun.
Uh-uh. Okay,
I
thank you.
recommend a bag of holding if you got one.
Oh, she'll open up she's got it on her pouch and she'll just drop it.
So you know it's a soul-stealing dagger.
Soul stealing.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Can I add that to my inventory?
No. Unless you intend to take it from this job. Like, unless you intend to not deliver it, do not add it to your inventory.
Okay.
Like,
All
you
right.
can add the custom item Maxwell's package.
Okay, I'll do that. Just so I can keep track of it. Maxwell's package. Okay, hopefully we'll be in Augur City as soon as possible.
Maxwell just kind of like thumps you on the shoulder and he says, "Good luck."
Thank you. I'm sure I'll need it.
Oh, and whenever you go to sleep, when you're on the road, a trick that you might want to be aware of. Make sure you have a spell or something you can use when you're silenced.
Oh, yeah. A lot of my spells use verbal components.
Mm-hmm.
I should look into that.
Speaking from someone who has made a business dealing with mages, that's the first trick.
Right. Noted. Thank you for the heads up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how's Cassandra doing?
Not well.
Oh,
Frankly, I don't think Rogue is quite what she's cut out for. She's doing her best. She's just clumsy.
oh.
Right now, we're working with lots of exercises to try and get her balance and reactions up to snuff, fix her
I'm very
reflexes.
familiar with that kind of training.
I know. Um, it's obviously my classes require an amount of aptitude,
Mm-hmm.
so her training is much more extensive than your brush up was.
Do you think there's another class she might be better suited for?
Maybe, but I'm not going to give up on her just yet because she has the enthusiasm,
I appreciate that.
and she's very good at talking to people. She just doesn't seem to have the intellect to back it up.
Well, a diamond in the rough, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Worst comes to worst. She spends a year here, gets herself back in good shape, food in her belly for a year, has a new perspective on life. That's the worst that could happen. Because she's not
Yeah.
going to quit, I can say that. She is here early every day, which is unusual for my students.
I appreciate it. I mean, I know you're getting paid to do this, but I appreciate it.
As I've said, my students are my children.
Right.
Pleasant journey to you, Lorna.
Thank you, Maxwell. She'll pat her bag of holding where the horrific dagger is and go back out.
As you are like leaving that room, you bump into an individual. You remember seeing this man a couple times during the actual like fall festival. He has short, kind of wavy blonde hair, and he's wearing rogue's leathers. But as he bumps into you, you see Matthew Cordell.
Okay, well, is the bumping intentional because he's a rogue and there's no way that he
Roll
would
an insight
be
check.
surprised around a corner? Yeah, like he would. Hmm. Oh my god, a natural one.
He looks
I rolled
genuinely
a 10.
surprised.
Oh, excuse me. I'm
Oh,
on my way
sorry.
out.
Oh, you don't have to be.
I don't?
You could stick around. A woman as beautiful as you, I could absolutely find an excuse to spend time with you. Goodness gracious.
It's nice to meet you. I'm
We've met
assuming you're a
before.
rogue.
Oh, how did you know?
The She just makes a big gesture. She's kind of at a loss for
Oh,
words.
is it so obvious? Yes. And he kind of gives you like a little half bow and he says, Matthew Cordell, at your service.
The pleasure's mine. I'm Lorna.
Oh, you're Skolna's team.
That's right.
Well, I'm sure she's doing well for you.
Certainly.
I'm a
Probably
little,
the most capable person on the team.
I'm a little jealous.
Of Skolna?
Yeah? I wish my team leader was quite so fine as yourself.
It doesn't sound like you'd get anything done if that were the case.
Oh, I can be very well motivated to impress.
You certainly left an impression.
I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, I will need... And he, like, sets his hands on your hips and, like, twists you around so he's on the other side, and he says...
Did he take something when he touched me?
Roll an investigation check.
Fucking rogues. I rolled really well. 26.
So it's very funny that you immediately notice as he slips he slips your wand off, like your arcane focus, out of your belt and then says, make sure you hold on to this. But you are already watching as he does it. So it was extremely like the gesture was extremely smooth.
But she's already caught it.
Yeah, you just happen to your investigation is so sharp that like you might have been maybe surprised that he touched you as he moves you, and then as he pulls his hand up, it's literally like watching a magician slip something out of your belt up into his fingers and then is handing it to you. He
As
says,
she takes it. Go ahead.
"You almost dropped this.
I didn't, but thank you.
You're sharp.
I am. I know your type.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, it's hard to keep me interested if I know what to expect.
Oh, you might know my type, but you'll never know what to expect. And
Sure.
he winks at you, and then he pulls the door closed in your face.
So back out in the main hall. How far away is this door from Persh and my team?
20 feet.
Did they watch that weird interaction?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he took anything besides the thing I saw him take, so that's nice.
Skolna, like, is leaning against the wall around the corner, and she says, he's harmless.
Is he?
Well, he's an assassin, but
Right, he's harmless to you.
he never takes anything seriously.
I can tell. He didn't take anything I missed, did he? Did.
Skolna, like, takes a quick glance. It's all there.
Okay. Well, he also bumped into me on purpose.
You don't know that.
Oh, shit.
You
That was
rolled
that
a
was
natural
Pen,
one
not
for a
Lorna.
10.
You're right. Okay. Well, how about we go to the magic bag now? Do something useful.
Oh, you mean we don't have to loiter around here any longer?
No.
Right, let's get to it. And Tier is the first one out the door, and Anscombe, like, watches him leave and says, I think he's getting a little antsy.
Oh, we'll be leaving soon enough, and he'll be entrenched in wilderness just like he likes.
Right. Lilith, like, is following, and she says, Hey, Anscombe, where's your gear? Where's your sword? You'll see.
I haven't interacted in a while.
Lilith's like, what, do you use daggers now? I mean, it's really not your speed. Anscombe's like, you'll see.
Just like Lorna with her wings, like,
Yeah.
oh, you'll see all this cool stuff soon.
You're wearing heavy armor. Like, I don't know where the hell you could hide that shit. There's no room.
Lilith just chimes in. Sorry, Lorna chimes in. You'll see.
Why? I mean,
You just have to accept the theatrics of this group. It's your
no,
life now.
And behind you all, Norne says, yeah, they're worse than me. And I'm
She's
the bard. Roll me an insight check.
Is it on anyone in specific?
It's on Lilith.
Oh, damn it. 12.
Don't worry about
Aww.
it. You'll see Lilith just gives Norre a look that looks similar to how she looked at Skolna.
Mistrusting?
You don't know.
Intimidated?
You can go ahead and keep guessing emotions. You might get it. As you make your way through Ferrum, you are heading to the magic bag, and I require a D100.
Okay. 60.
60. Okay. It is as you are walking, that you see there is a stall on the side of the road that no one is visiting. All of your team seems to notice it. It's a stall that has like a blue star-spangled canvas tarp over the top of it. It almost looks like an old fortune teller's tent. And as you're approaching, you see there is a halfling man who has an extremely tall hat that looks like it's covered in all sorts of these strange colors. And you see he's holding what you recognize to be a religious symbol of Aegir, the god of time.
Time, yeah.
He's one of the most well-known gods. And as you're walking by, this halfling says, "Excuse me, could I interest you in a fortune? I see you are on a journey, and knowing your future often helps you deal with the present."
So Aegir's a well-known god, even for Lorna,
He's
who's
the
not
old,
super versed.
he's like the first god everyone knows.
Does Lorna feel, because Penn does Lorna feel kind of like a fortune teller and Aegir don't really go hand in hand together? Or is that like, is he known for his followers being like this, like
Roll a
that?
religion check.
All right, because I feel like Aegir would frown upon determining the future. Religion. He doesn't seem to be a god with a sense of humor. 16.
With a 16, you're looking at this from an academic's perspective. You know that
Mm-hmm.
every divination wizard in the world has a a push and pull relationship with time and with Aegir. Because divination is literally pulling knowledge from the ethos, whether it be of the present, the future, or the past. So diviners, when they try and make predictions, Aegir has a hand in them. Whether
So
they
he
be
does
accurate or
help.
not, it's Aegir seems to be a very, I don't want to say hypocritical, but um he's very controlling about the information he lets people have.
Right, and he might
Uh
just lie to you for the fun.
he might, well,
Okay.
it's not really like straight up deceit is not really Aegir's thing.
He
Um
might mislead or misconstrue.
I would say he would trust your interpretations to be inaccurate.
I see. Now, does he do this because he thinks it's funny or because he frowns upon your efforts to understand
I think
that which
he
is not present?
I think he, you would know that Aegir is of the opinion that perceiving time before it happens is beyond the realm of mortal ability.
Hmm.
And so the information you do receive is not decipherable. So he just lets you
Right.
have
It's
it.
largely not decipherable, but there might be some who are more adept than others.
Exactly.
So you're reading fortunes.
I am predicting one of the possible futures.
Do you take specific questions and answer them, or do you just give your own interpretation of what
I
comes to you?
can read your fortune, or I can answer a question.
I have a question.
For each answer, I require the small sum of 5 copper.
I can. She hands over 5 copper.
Hmm. A pleasure, ma'am. Your question. And as you're as you're about to say it, he suddenly he raises his fingers, and like 6 or 7 incenses suddenly just around the edges of the table, and this rich smell that's it's kind of a woody smell like campfire, but it's tinged with the sharp acrid smell of eucalyptus over it, as if it's warding off mosquitoes, but it's much more mellow than like actual eucalyptus. But it is, the smell is suddenly filling the air, and you're very keenly aware of it.
Oh, and he's waiting for my question.
Yes.
Okay, Lorna would just kind of ponder it for a moment, like phrasing, and just think, or just say, well, Lilith and I achieve our ultimate goal.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Okay. 16.
Okay, hold on. Will yourself and Lilith achieve your ultimate goal? The wisest men envy the grave. The poison of the moon lies only once, and to those who seek vengeance must dig a grave for themselves as well. But what matters most is not your search for vengeance. What matters most, why, who Vengeance or a vengeance, this is important. So yes and no is the answer to your question.
And that feels like it would be the answer to any question I asked.
No, it is much more specific. If it is vengeance you seek, no. If it is a vengeance you seek, yes.
What's the difference?
In one, you right the wrong done to a valued individual. In the other, you seek only satisfaction to your own pain. There is no satisfying the pain that burns within for either of you. But to honor a fallen one, your deeds can be done.
Thank you.
The incense suddenly, he like closes his hands and all of it just, and then it stops.
Can I look at Lilith and see how she might have taken that answer?
She looks skeptical.
He did know the word vengeance, and I phrased it as an ultimate goal. I didn't say we were gonna kill him.
Yeah, there's something he knew, something you
got
didn't.
Something.
He knew something you didn't give him.
Yeah.
And that Lilith is like skeptical but suspicious. She like looks down at you and she says, "How did he know? What did?"
I have an idea. We'll talk about it later. Thank you again, sir.
You are welcome.
And Lorna will hurry away because he creeps her out.
Yeah, he's creepy.
She'll ask like her party members in a low voice when they're far enough away. Are all of Aegir's followers so odd?
Hold on. Tier, who's among the more religiously educated,
It's true.
kind of shakes his head and he says, "No, I mean, you're committing yourself to a god of time who's not exactly friendly to those who want to know. So,
Huh.
it's really up to the individual. I can say that." Nore, who speaks up, knowing a bit from stories, she says, "I think it depends where they're from. I know there's lots of Aegir, like, sanctuaries and temples up in Terracona. So seeing one all the way out here that isn't, like an actual apostle of Aegir, I imagine they'd be pretty weird."
Yeah, it's probably just all of the information that he gets that doesn't make any sense as per Aegir has probably messed with his brain a little bit.
Well, I mean, I've met a couple diviners when I was up in Terracona, and they always seemed a little bit on the sauce. A little bit.
You'd have to be, right?
Maybe. I mean, isn't Halliwell a divining wizard, you said?
It's true.
Is he weird?
Yes.
I guess that's that.
Hmm.
Maybe that just comes with the territory.
Or I was thinking, he's definitely a different kind of weird, but he's definitely weird.
And I misspoke. I meant Aegir sanctuaries are in Trident. And Nora would have known that. I didn't mean to say
she would
Terracona.
have said it properly. Yes, got it.
You continue your way down to the magic bag. That was the encounter you had, a strange fortune teller.
Spooky.
And when you arrive at the magic bag, one moment, please. It is. Whoops. Where did it? I do so love when Foundry just gets rid of things that I didn't ask it to. Okay. You arrive at the magic bag, and it is in the evening, so the suns are beginning to set, and the magic bag is not quite so busy. You see Glass is out towards the front of the store, not actually outside it, but he's sweeping the floor, and when you appear, he says, "Ah, if it isn't the Nightingales, hello again. It has been a while."
The name got to you too?
It did. I have
Ah!
heard stories.
Lorna looks just so fucking pleased.
It is much easier than saying Lorna's team, or a team with Tier and Anscombe and Skolna and Lorna, and, you know, it rolls off the tongue much better. What have you come in to visit Glass for?
Uh, a particular item, actually. Do you have any amulets against detection?
Oh, that is a specific item.
Yes.
I do have a couple. They are not, they are not commonly sold, so they tend to just gather dust. You understand?
But when you need them, you need them.
Yes, it is a niche need. I can part with one for you for all you've done for me. 300 gold.
Lorna kind of cringes. I don't have that much on me. She'll
I
kind
can
of
help.
puppy dog guy. Yeah, I only have 111 gold on me.
Okay. I have about maybe. He like looks through his bag and he says, "I can give you 100. And then I've
Okay.
just got enough for lodging." Tier,
Right. It's not like we wanna
Tier
be
is like,
broke.
Tier's like, I don't have much, and then Skolna just sets 150 gold on the counter.
You beautiful woman.
I know.
Lorna will take any opportunity to compliment Skolna, so that's fair. So Lorna will give 100. Oh, I have 11 gold. Oh my god.
And
I used
Anskin
to
will
have so much
cover
money.
the rest and put down 50. And in that note, Glass smiles and he pulls all the gold back, and then he reaches under the counter, and you hear sounds coming from beneath the counter that indicate it is much larger than it appears. You hear like,
Oh, shit.
and then after a few moments, he finally emerges with a small box and he pushes it towards you. This wooden box has within it an amulet of protection from divination.
I appreciate this class.
You are welcome.
There was another thing I was thinking about getting, but I can't afford it. But do you even have it? Do you have any kind of weapon of warning?
Oh, I am afraid if this amulet was pushing the budget, a weapon of warning might send you right over. The cheapest I have is a dagger of warning, and they run 400 gold pieces.
Yeah, that's well out of my budget. I just figured, considering our circumstances, and she'll kind of look meaningfully at her group, that some sort of thing like that would have been prudent. But
I understand, but I am afraid I cannot give that sort of thing away.
right, you run a business. I understand that.
They are also expensive to make.
I'm looking through my inventory right now, and I see things that I forgot about. If I have something that I might be able to sell for a price, but I don't know if you'd particularly want it, so this might be something that I have to sell to somebody else. It's a 10-gallon Fire Haven ale cask.
I appreciate
Do you
the
want a ton
offer,
of booze?
but that much alcohol is not of use to me.
Right. Okay, I should probably stop by a tavern.
I assume the ship stool would likely be
Is
pleased.
that nearby? That's nearby, right?
It's just the docks, maybe a minute away.
I know you're gonna close soon. Do you mind if I don't know how much money I'm gonna get for this, but it might be enough.
He like pulls a pocket watch out of his pocket and he glances and he says,
I do not close for another hour, so you will have time.
All right. I'm gonna try to huck the Fire Haven ale cask to see how much
okay,
gold
so
I
like you scamper away.
get.
How much is it? And it's not opened?
10-gallon cask. I got it. I think I helped. God, I helped somebody.
Oh, it was a
Make you do
merchant.
this.
I remember
Yeah.
it was the merchant on the road. Okay, so Firehaven Ale. Yeah, you could sell that for. The ship still would buy it from you for. They'd offer 90 gold.
Oh, that's not enough, but I'll still take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sell it.
Yeah, they're pleased about it. Firehaven Ale is not like super high end, But it's a 10-gallon cask of it is they're pleased
That's
about it.
enough to keep. Well, Lorna has 100 gold. She just says, none of you would be interested in helping me get anything of warning, would you? Like, I don't need to have it. I just think in the group, it's a great idea.
Your group is unfortunately a little strapped for cash.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money doing this and that.
Skolna.
Oh, did I sell this already? I have a bag of gems. I think I sold this when I got my tattoo.
You did, 100%.
All right, I'm just gonna dump it out then.
On the street.
I have like 425 gold's worth of gems and such.
Yeah,
but
you
I
spent
really
them
don't,
on the
so
tattoo.
That was misleading. Damn. Okay. Well, shit.
Maybe you could offer spell scrolls again? You did that before.
Right. I don't have time. I would have to put on like retainer
I can help now.
tonight.
I mean, I don't know how much we can get out. I've never made a spell scroll before.
Lorna remembers her and Requiem working on spell scrolls for like 3 or 4 days in Augur City and getting like 200 gold pieces worth out of 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just shakes her head. I don't think it's viable. I appreciate it though. I really do.
Okay. But, I mean, maybe we could make some spell scrolls of useful spells for us.
Sure, we could do that tonight. Just sleep over. Who wants to spend the night with us? Because of the danger of assassins.
we had to anyway.
Well, yeah, but not like you and me, Lilith, have to definitely have somebody with us. But you know, other people if they don't want to, it's fair enough. But we could
You
have
think
a whole
I would miss a
sleepover.
sleepover? I don't know if you know this, but as a follower of Tindra, sleepovers are the best part of every night.
That's like a tenant. Thou must sleep over.
That's right.
So are we?
Lots of truth or dares, maybe you know.
Oh, can we play truth or dare? That sounds like so much fun.
I was mostly joking, but alright.
Oh.
We can, I guess.
What if we get like a big room in the Merry Guard and we like, booze and food? It'll be fun.
It's not a bad first night.
Yeah. And
All
but
right.
you know, not too hard because we have to leave in the early morning.
I mean, we all have. I mean,
You know.
Nora can last a restoration, can't you? I can. And Nora says, yeah, I can. Is
Okay,
that
well, try not to push it, but if you know, we can deal with it. If
is
need
that
be.
something we want to do? I suppose I could. It's something I want to do.
Yes. Okay. So they'll go and they'll tell Glass, "Sorry, we didn't get up enough money. Thank you for, you know."
I appreciate the attempt.
Yeah. Well, maybe someday. Lorna has attuned to that, by the way. It's an inaction attunement, right?
Yes, but it is an hour to unattune to something, so
That's fine.
just
She had
making
already
sure you're
unattuned
aware.
to the cloak of Elvenkind while they were waiting for Lilith, and Anscombe has it now.
Yes.
Okay.
So you head your way back up to the Merry Guard.
Sleep over. Sleep over.
Yeah, they have what they basically call well, they're not called party rooms, but they're basically
Party room.
it's called adventurers lodge and lodgings, which are rooms with 6 beds in them each. There's 2 of them in the Merry Guard, and they are cheap. So
That's great. There's 6 of us, so we have a whole room to ourselves.
So bartender Boone basically demands from you for the night. I think it's 8 silver for the adventurer's room, and then it basically comes with no amenities.
Yeah, well, so Lorna will, because this was, you know, her idea and her protection that's necessary, she'll pay for it. And she'll fund them with good food and good drink for the evening.
Okay. It'll cost you about 8 gold in total
That's fine.
for drink and food for everyone. Please roll me a d12.
Okay, they have a good evening. I didn't have any particular plans for it. A 1.
Okay. Well, it looks like the food that you got is like the leftover dinner. So it's a little cold. The party all gets 1 temporary hit point.
I can Presty to make it taste better at the very least. It won't increase their hit points, but it'll taste
It'll
better.
yeah, it'll taste better. But everyone seems to be relaxing, with the exception of Lilith, who feels very much like out of place because
Sure.
she's new in this team and she feels very beholden to you. So she's kind of like sitting in one of the two chairs that are at the window of the room, while the rest of your team are all basically goofing around or drinking and enjoying
I
themselves.
mean, Lorna would. She's trying to be a good hostess. She would make sure that like she's not alone if she doesn't want to be, or like there's always a conversation where she's included.
Okay. Roll me just a straight charisma check.
Aw, Lorna. I rolled a 2 for a 7.
Okay.
Lorna tries. It's clear she's making an effort.
Yeah, it's clear Lorna's trying, but it might be a little just too much too soon. Because Lilith just lost her sister. She's exhausted.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week.
Like, if Lorna gets that Lilith is more comfortable observing as opposed to participating, she would, like, take the hint.
Lilith already didn't strike you as too much of a people person.
Yeah.
And she's found herself a corner and is just drinking.
Fair enough.
And trying to
She's
basically
probably
like
gonna need the lesser resto if anybody does.
Probably. She's like spending her time trying to look out the window. It looks like she wants to be in thought more than she wants to be in conversation.
Lorna takes the hint.
Well, with a 7 charisma, it probably takes you longer to get the hint than you would like, but you do eventually get it.
Yes. But Lilith already knew that Lorna was annoying.
It's true. She did know that.
She means well, but she's annoying.
So, we proceed onward. I need to roll some dice. Tier, Lilith, and Skolna are the only ones that drink.
Skolna drinks?
Skolna decides to drink tonight.
Wow. She must be feeling comfortable.
The only one who wakes up hungover is Tier.
He has the lesser restoration himself.
Yeah, he does. So he awakens the next morning like, oh, fuck.
You went too hard, huh?
Well, you know what they say back home. If you're going to sail a ship, go full mast. Oh.
Sure. I definitely know that they say that.
No, you don't. You know.
You're correct.
He's like rubbing his eyes and he begins the process of casting Restoration, which for him, basically he opens a bag and opens up a bunch of herbs and just... Oh, okay, I'm good.
We get horses. Tier already picked up his arrows. Anscombe already picked up his armor.
Mm-hmm.
Lorna put in that request from Zurich, but he will have it couriered to her, so
it's going to be a minute before that happens, yeah. Okay, so you gather up... Okay, so here's the question. You have the option of taking all horses or taking 2 horses and a cart. The advantage of taking horses, if you all take horses, you can travel off the main roads a little easier. Mm-hmm. The disadvantage is if someone needs to rest, you have to stop.
Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this already, and it was recommended to take a cart.
Okay.
And Lorna was like, we could get one if we decided to, but then he was like, oh, you could have a free one with the Marigard. And
oh, yeah, the Marigard handles the
yeah, there was a whole conversation about this. Lorna can have Requiem as a horse, so that's at the very least what's going to happen for her.
Okay, so you don't ride in the cart, you're riding on Requiem. My dice are flying all over the place. Good, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so you and your group. Okay, so if you're riding on Requiem, who's driving the cart? I imagine probably Anscombe. Hold on. Yes, Anscombe is proficient in land vehicle.
Lorna cheekily rides in front of him for many instances.
Is this Lorna trying to uh, flex, as it were?
She's trying to flirt, as it were.
Show off her ass is what I was getting
Yes.
at. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll a charisma check.
Aw. I rolled badly last
You
time.
did.
I rolled badly this time too. 8. I'm not actually a trained horseman.
Yeah, so you're not proficient at riding a horse, and also Requiem doesn't like gait
He's
like
not
a
normally
horse.
a horse.
He just
Yeah.
floats, and it looks like he's walking.
So there's no real bounce.
No, not at all.
That defeats the purpose.
I mean, sorry, it is a
Oh,
ghost
damn it.
horse.
He has like no idea what she was attempting to do, and she fails anyways.
He's like concentrating on driving the cart, like he's paying attention to the horses. He's like watching the road to make sure he doesn't bring the cart through any rivets. He's
Yeah,
like,
it's probably fair that he's not paying attention.
he's trying to
For the
do his
best.
job. But as you make your way out of Ferrum, hold on, this scene is wrong.
The whole scene. It's wrong.
It's wrong. Okay. You're making your way out into the Rimwood, out away from Ferrum. And normally, so you've all taken the road to Augur City countless times.
Mhm.
You've taken the road like into the Rimwood up north, following the river and up towards Siren's Reach, like never. So, you've gone into the woods, obviously, but you've never gone farther up along the river than just the immediate area outside of Ferrum. But Anscombe, it's clear, does know the way. And he's following these trails that they do look like wagon trails, but they're pretty grown.
Yeah.
A lot of brush is crawling up on them, and Anscombe is like very careful in how he drives the cart. That being said, I need you to make a couple rolls for me.
I'm just checking. Is our route is Augur City, Siren Reach was the
Okay.
one.
What my understanding, because if
Mhm.
we might have a different idea here.
Let's make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah. Okay. So I've gone over to the map, the world map.
Okay, let me go over to.
Okay. So my impression was you were going to go north to Siren's
Oh,
Respite.
that's fine. See, I didn't have the map in visual, so I thought Augur City and then the other stops made the most sense. But I see it now, and it makes sense the way you're describing it.
Okay. So you're going to Siren's Respite first, and then south to Augur City.
Well, where is the Druid's Grove approximately located?
Oh, it's like up here.
Okay. Well,
You could. Okay. So now that we have this open, you could go
Uh-huh.
straight to Augur City and then north.
And
Either way
then
is fine.
I feel like that would make more sense because I don't want to go to Siren's Respite and then down to Augur City and then back up to the Druid's Grove. But I don't want to go to Siren's Respite and then up to the Druid's Grove and then back down to Siren's Respite and then back down to Augur City. So if we go to Augur City first, we hit
Okay.
Siren's Respite and then the Druid's Grove, and then we can head on our way to Shona.
Okay, so
That
ignore
makes sense, right?
everything else that I just said. You're following the road you know well, heading straight to Augur City. It's a good thing we handled that. Or we
Yes,
would
I
have been-
figured that we should probably touch base with where we were planning on going first.
Okay. As you make your way along the road to Augur City, it's about like a week's travel if you're comfortable. You can press it to be a little faster if you wanted to. But you're following the main road, which generally doesn't have a lot of hostile activity on it. The road is pretty well traveled. But there are occasional highwaymen, goblins, bandits, the sort of typical annoyances that people hire the Merigard mercenaries to escort
People
them
like
on the road
us.
for. So, first and foremost, I need you to roll me a d6.
Okay. 6.
Okay. I need you to roll me a d100.
Okay. 96.
Okay, hold on.
Go hard or go home.
Okay, so what level are you?
Feel free to hand me another level, though. I need to take my warlock level.
You're level 6 or 5?
Yes. I'm 5.
Okay. You become keenly aware that Lilith might need a little bit shoring up. As she hasn't been going on a lot of jobs, she might be less experienced than the rest of your group. Lilith might be a little behind.
She had some emotional stuff going on.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Okay. Alrighty then. Sorry, almost done here.
No worries.
Okay. It is while you are making your way down the road. What is this? Okay. You hear. What language do you speak?
That language. Common, Draconic, Elvish, Infernal, Undercommon.
So it sounds close to Elvish. It doesn't quite sound like Elvish, but the consonants sound like... It's like someone who speaks Spanish hearing Portuguese. It's very close.
Can I think of a family related to Elvish that this might be?
You think it's Sylvan, but you don't know Sylvan.
Right. So, but I know what speaks Sylvan, and that's usually Fey things.
Fey is very frequently the creatures that speak Sylvan. Yeah. One moment, I'm checking your party. I don't think anybody else speaks Sylvan either.
Not even Tier?
Tier does not. Tier speaks Primordial,
Raised by
Common, Elvish, and
dwarves.
Infernal.
Not Dwarvish?
He does not speak Dwarvish.
He was raised by dwarves!
What do you want from me? He ran
I
out of
don't know.
languages. Skolna does not either. Okay. Okay, so roll me a perception check. As you hear this, you start looking around to see what the hell, where that noise came from.
9. God damn.
A 9.
I've been rolling very badly. I think I rolled a 2, a 3, and a 3 the past 3 rolls.
Okay, I'm going to place your team just on the image. For the sake of it, we'll just place you in a line. Where did... Hold on.
Lilith hiding.
I have to put her in your folder now that she's... You've basically been roped into dealing with her.
I roped her into dealing with me. Correction.
It was the dice. With a 9, I'll roll
bad at
for... Okay. Tier rolled really bad as well. So, you hear this and you just, like, you can't tell what direction it came from. Suddenly, there is like a cloud that emerges amongst the treetops. It looks like smoke, and it is suddenly dim light here.
Oh, great.
Lilith says, "What the fuck's happening?"
I don't know, but I think it's Fey related.
Your team is now alert. They're like standing in the cart, and they've drawn weapons. Anscombe says, "Whatever happens, please don't spook the horses." And as he says that, suddenly a strange, small creature leaps
Oh my God,
and
what the fuck is
jumps onto Anscombe's head.
Oh God. What is that? Have we seen something like this before?
You can roll an Arcana if you'd like.
It's nightmare fuel is what it is. God, a 4. 2, 3,
You don't know
3,
what
4.
the fuck it is. With a 12, it looks like a fae. Some sort of crazy unseelie fae that
Ugh.
leaps. It looks a little bit malformed. It has these sharp teeth that it looks like it's missing a bunch. And as it leaps at Anscombe, it's going to try and stab him.
Oh my god.
It has advantage because of surprise, and Anscombe's like, "Oh, what?" But a 15 doesn't hit Anscombe.
Ooh.
It is in that moment that their ambush begins, and a bunch
great.
more of these
You
leap.
said they. Oh
Yes.
no.
Another one jumps up onto Anscombe. One of them jumps up onto you.
Ah!
Two of them jump onto Nore. One of them jumps on the back of Lilith. And there's 3 more. I'll say 2 on Skolna, 1 on Tier. And I have a lot of dice to roll.
Look at these fucking things. Oh god.
There's just, the air is full of the screeching of these strange creatures. Lorna, the first one misses you with a natural 2, but then a natural for a 14 to hit. Does that hit you?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 5 piercing and 7 necrotic.
Oh my god. Ah! Fuck these things.
Yeah. Then the 2 on Nore. Miss. Hit. Same deal. Takes 12. 1 on Lilith. No chance. Second one on Anscombe. No chance. 1 on Tier. Oh, that might hit. And nope, it doesn't. His AC is 17. Okay, 2 on Skolna. The first one hits. Skolna is going to... Does she have Uncanny Dodge? Yes. Skolna halves the damage she takes from that. So she takes 6. The second one hits. Skolna takes 12. Okay. The ambush round is over. Would you kindly roll me initiative?
Yeah. I rolled well. I rolled better than Skolna. What the fuck?
Sometimes these things happen. Okay, and the traveling music needs to stop. Because now we are in a fight. And that's how that happens. Okay. Tier is going first. The creature that's on Tier's face, he reaches to his belt and brings a scimitar up, slashing as he rises. The scimitar, I don't know if I've described it for you before. It is actually beautiful. The hilt looks like it's got, like, electrum winding around it up to a brass-plated hilt, and the blade itself is a very fancy curved blade. It looks more like a pirate's cutlass than it does a typical scimitar. But as he brings it in a rising slash... okay, hold on. He crits. Okay. Yeah, I'll just hit critical hit. Okay. The scimitar slashes through this creature, instantly killing it.
Oh shit.
As it is slashed into pieces, it explodes in a flash of black ash that flies away from Tier. And as it does, I need you... No, you're facing the other way. I need Tier, Skolna, and Nore and Lilith to make con saves. Nore is the only one who fails. Nore is blinded for a turn.
Oh shit.
And that's what happens. Oh, I killed the wrong one. It was Tier. It was Tier who did that. So the body is gone as it flashes in ash. Roll me another Arcana.
Okay. 16.
You think about it, you're like, fey creatures that are strangely malformed. They like the dark. They explode in light when you kill them. You realize what these are. They are darklings, which are these strange, basically little more than fayish imps of the Winter Court.
Do they have any particular weaknesses I might know?
Sunlight. They hate daylight. They have a hard time dealing with it.
That's
But
why
they
triggered nonsense.
but they have blind sight.
Right.
Tier has a second attack and he's not blinded. He will run across the cart over to the other one on Skolna and he's going to slash at that one. That is a natural 1. Tier, like his blade, boom, into the side of the cart and it gets stuck and he's, shit, sorry. And that's his turn. Nore's up. Nore has
blind.
2 darklings on her face and she is blind. Okay. Nore, like, blind, isn't sure what direction, but she knows she was attacked from right in front of her, off the side of the cart. She raises her musical instrument, her lute, and she just... And thunder waves out towards these 2
Sick.
darklings. They must make a con save. First one rolls a 9. Second one rolls a natural 20. So the first one...
Damn.
Okay.
It gets blown away.
Okay, damage roll. Okay, she rolled really good damage. She rolled 12 points of damage. So one of them is sent flying off the cart and is nearly killed in one hit. The other one is not sent flying off the cart, holds on, and Nore, blind, says, I can't see shit. Help! Fuck! She will bonus action Bardic Inspiration. That was her saying "help, fuck" is her Bardic Inspiration to Lilith, who was right next to her. Lorna, what are you doing?
She is going to unfurl her wings, and she's not going to action disengage. She's just going to fly upward, like 30 feet.
So it's going to take
she
an
will
attack on
yeah,
you.
she will take an attack of opportunity.
The attack of opportunity was a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 12 points of damage total.
12. Ouch. Jesus.
That's what they do. I'm just taking the average.
She's trying to get out of their range. And then she's going to look down and cast haste on Anscombe. As she does.
Okay.
She says, go get him, Tiger.
And like in the slightly accelerated, almost choppy voice, Hanscom says, "You've got it." Okay.
That's her turn.
It's now Skolna's turn. Skolna, aware Tierra's in melee, Skolna's just going to stab the one between the 2 of them. That's a 19 on the die. She absolutely hits. She pulls that wicked dagger. He's going to roll the attack. I already rolled the attack. He's going to roll damage. I'm failing. Plus sneak attack. Okay. Where's the sneak attack? I've lost it. There we go. Okay, 15 points of piercing damage. This Darkling is immediately slain. I need Skolna, Anscombe, and Tier to make a con save. Anscombe succeeds. Tier succeeds. Skolna succeeds. No one is blinded as this Darkling explodes. We will remove it from the map. Skolna will then, add bonus action, disengage, and, like, leaps off and hangs off the back of the cart. It's now the Darkling's turn.
Great.
Okay. This Darkling is going to surge forward and attack Tier. It hits. Tier takes 12. The Darkling's on Anscombe, who's now hasted, so his AC is now a 21?
Mm-hmm.
No, a 20. Dirty 20. Miss. They have to roll really good to hit Anscombe right now, and they are not. 2 misses. The Darklings cannot fly, so the one that was after you, it's gonna, like, it falls down and it's going to attack Requiem.
No!
But it rolled a natural one.
Hooray.
Uh,
Or Squeam.
Yeah. This one's going to attack Norre, who's blind, so it has advantage.
Silvery barbs.
Okay. Norre's AC is a 17. It misses. It rolled a 16.
And I will give Nori advantage because she's struggling right now.
Okay. The one on Lilith's going to attack. Natural 20.
Shit. She's still good. She's fine.
Probably. Let me roll damage as a crit. Okay, Lilith takes 26 points of damage.
Oh my god. Fuck these things.
Lilith didn't like that, obviously. This Darkling small dagger, like, cuts into her side and her back, and she's just, you little shit, and she's going to hellish rebuke it.
Yeah.
Okay, it needs to make a dex save. Roll the 2. Fails. It takes hellish rebuke's 2d10 fire damage. 13 points of damage. The Darkling that stabbed Lilith right in, like, next to the spine just explodes in flame, and then after that happens, the flash of light splashes out.
Great.
Lilith needs to make a con save. Lilith succeeds with a natural 20. Lilith is not blind. And that Darkling is gone. Delete you. Okay, Lilith's turn. Lilith is going to surge over the edge of the cart. She is basically standing on the edge of the cart as she makes her first attack on this Darkling. It hits. So, that's a short sword.
Ward.
No, this is the rapier.
Rapier.
I already rolled. Why am I doing this? Good lord.
You're doing your best.
This Darkling takes 8 points of piercing damage. The Darkling is slain. As that happens, the little things make a con save, as do you, as you are looking down.
Aw, but I'm 30 feet away.
I don't care.
Aw.
It's a bright flash of light.
I'm blind. Oh, I see.
The DC is 10. Yes, you are blind.
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
You are blind for 1 turn.
Fuck.
Nori, as her vision is, like, clearing, she looks up and she says, right! Lilith is going to surge over off the cart to the one that's attacking Requiem and attack again.
Does she get advantage because she's opposite Requiem?
Requiem cannot attack while he's a horse.
He's a horse. Why not? Nay, kick. Have you seen things get kicked by horses? They fucking die.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
She already hit. Okay. It's not a crit. She will slash at it with her short sword and will apply a maneuver. She's going to apply a trip attack to it.
Nice.
Okay, this plus a D8. Trip attack. You... Oh, I knew I should have... You are the most... Okay. Okay. It's got to make a strength save. It rolls a natural 1. This Darkling is prone. But it might be dead anyway, because I got to roll the bonus damage. It is dead. It would not have died without the trip maneuver, so, you know. Alright. Lilith, having slain that, is going to use her bonus action, 2-weapon fighting, and use the last of her movement to get opposite Anscombe off the cart, and, like, there's a Darkling between them, and she's going to stab with a short sword at advantage. Natural 20.
Jesus. She's killed 4 of them.
Yes, she has.
Taking out her emotions on these
She
things.
deals 13 points of damage, which is their AC, which is their health, with that crit. So I need Lilith, Anscombe, you already blind, and Skolna to make a con save. Lilith is blind.
I mean, damn.
Suddenly, after that, after killing 3 of them, she
Fuck.
just can't see shit. Anscombe succeeds. Skolna is blind. Okay. Well, Lilith finishes her turn off the cart, blind, and now it's Anscombe's turn.
Lilith's not gonna see Anscombe's new sword.
It's
She's
true.
blind.
It's true.
Aw.
Anscombe, like, the Darkling on his back, he just holds out his hand, and he's going to make an attack using the appearance of the sword. So, like, onto the Darkling. And that's his attack with the sword. Let's see. Hits, like, by a million. Is a one-handed attack, so I'll roll it like this. 14 points of damage. That Darkling is immediately slain. I said it was behind his back, so he's
Oh, he
not
doesn't
looking
see
at it.
anything. Yes.
Just
Just run around and finish the rest of them off.
There's only one left. No, there's 2 left. One that's prone. Anscombe will run over here, run over to Tier. He, like, hops out of the driver's seat, 5 feet of movement, gets to that Darkling, slashes, misses with a natural 1.
What?
Hasted action, swings again, hits with a natural 7. He does miss sometimes.
I refuse to accept this.
This Darkling is slain immediately with 13 points of damage.
Lorna would
Anscombe
be impressed if she could see.
will then run over to this one. I don't think he has a bonus action he can use. No, that's his turn. He ends his turn right in melee with this one. Tier. He will turn around, see the one Anscombe's running to, which is prone. And Tier will just take out his longbow and try a shot.
Fire disadvantage.
Yep. He hits. So this Darkling had 1 hit point. It dies. I need another con save from Anscombe. Tier. Save. Tier's blind.
But we
Okay.
killed them all.
You did kill them
Please.
all.
Lorna's just rubbing her eyes, where she's flying 30 feet above them.
Yeah, so the fight ends, and as it does, everyone's like, oh.
Fuck those things.
And as the Darklings are gone, Lilith, like, her vision comes back to her, and Anscombe still has his sword out.
Where did he get that?
Yeah, Lilith's like, that's a badass sword. Where did that come from? Where were you
Also,
hiding that?
Lorna's not in vision right now for her.
Yeah, she hasn't looked up yet. Anscombe just looks over at Lilith, and, like, while making eye contact, the sword vanishes. And Lilith's like, what?
And Lorna will call down, is everyone okay?
Lilith, like, looks up. How did you get up? And you see, like, she's made eye contact with the ethereal ink-style wings. And she's like, okay.
I got a stick tat.
How much did that cost you?
Oh, so much. But it's awesome.
It is awesome. Like, Lilith, like, is just looking up a little bit, mouth agape.
Well, now obviously she has to do like a barrel roll, so she's gonna try to do a sick maneuver.
Roll in acrobatics. You have a flying speed. That does not mean you
Rolled a
have
3.
proficiency. Oh,
So
okay.
4 total.
So what happens is you, like, and it's awesome, and you, like, flip over to do a barrel roll, and you just suddenly plummet, like, 20 feet.
But
Almost
did you
hitting the
catch
ground.
yourself?
Yeah, you don't hit the ground. You didn't hit natural 1.
Okay, sorry, more practice.
That's a tattoo?
Yeah!
That's fucking cool.
Actually, everyone here got tattoos while we were in, Shore Watch.
You suddenly hear, ugh, as Anscombe slumps onto the ground when the
Eesh.
haste falls off.
Lorna will land. If we ever find a magic tattoo artist, highly recommend it for you.
I don't have that much cash, but
Well, we'll save up. I mean,
where did you find one?
her name was Inky. She was in Shore Watch, and
Oh,
We
like
had some disposable income back then.
one of those traveling merchant sorts of things?
I think so. Maybe we'll see her again.
That'd be awesome.
Actually, I know what her face looks like and I know what her name is. I could send her a message sometime when we have disposable income and be like, hey, where are you? Like, can we set up an appointment?
I like that.
All right,
I
let's
want
do
to
it.
fly.
There were so many options. Like, she'll like point to Tyr's face, like, that's his. And she'll point to Nore's face, that's hers. And then Skolma has that sleeve right
Yeah.
there. And Anscombe got a hand tattoo.
Like,
Oh, and Lorna will just like, obviously she's gonna show hers off, so she like shucks off like
like when
her.
you first start like pulling your clothes up, it's like, wait, what? And then
I'm showing you my tattoo.
when you do
It's like
finally,
a full back piece.
Man, you went hard. Okay.
I always go hard.
Yeah, I remember about the impact.
Lorna only exists in extremes.
Is everyone okay?
and like Nore is like basically like healing herself up, and she says, "Yeah, is everyone all right? That was rough. Those things hit hard."
Yeah, I felt better, but I'm not on death's door. I think, yeah, Skolna, Lilith, and Lorna had the worst of it.
Yeah, and so Nore will cure wounds, as will Tier. So, because you want to keep moving, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lorna, you heal for 9.
Thank you.
Lilith heals for 8. It's, it's something.
Lorna is gonna activate her mage armor because she didn't today.
You're a genius.
It only lasts 8 hours.
That's only the whole day. It only lasts all of the day.
The fight ends and Lorna like flexes her hand and her mage armor goes up and she just hopes no one will comment on it.
Tier says,
Just in time, eh?
She gets a ceramic middle finger.
Oh, it looks good, though.
Okay. Some healing is dealt out. Skolna is healed by both of them because she got hit. She was down to 12 hit points. So that's 7 and 8. So she heals for 15. Okay. And then you all pile back in the cart. You back on
Horses.
Requiem.
Yeah.
As you do get back on Requiem, he says, "I'm sorry, I was caught off guard."
No, we were all surprised, buddy. It's okay.
You begin to move. And as that was your first day of travel, you will set up camp.
I want to be on a watch with Skolna.
Okay. You have a conversation you want to have?
Yeah.
Okay. One moment, please. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and pull your crew onto this map. Oh, the encounter's over. I'll just end the combat.
Now the boss Darkling shows up.
Yeah, the big, the dark long. You guys have found camp. I'm gonna roll a survival for Tier to try and see what the DC is for your encounters. Okay. That's the wrong music. Okay. As you settle in, it's still loading. Why is it still loading for me? Vinny the cable guy, the camera guy, you're literally
Vinny the cable
on
guy.
the same computer as me. Why are you having a hard time? There we go. Okay, so your watch order is you're watching with Skolna. Lilith will watch with Anscombe.
She should watch with Anscombe and talk about fighter things.
You will be asleep for it, so that won't
That's
be
fine.
on camera. Tier's first watch. One moment. Okay, and roll my D100s. Okay. Tier's watch passes without incident, and Lorna,
Hooray.
you are stirred awake by Tier as he says,
All right, you're up.
Thanks. All quiet?
"All quiet."
Hope it stays that way.
Yeah, same.
And Tyr goes to bed. You awaken Skolna. Please roll me a perception at advantage.
She's helping me.
And I will
Okay.
roll your D100.
I rolled well for once. I rolled a 2 and a 15, so 21 is my perception.
Okay. What is it that you want to talk to Skolna about? 'Cause
Well-
she's just hanging out.
Right, so she's gonna let some time pass, enough to like let the other members of her team like get to sleep, or to ensure that they're having a private conversation. And then, recalling what Maxwell taught her, she's going to attempt to use the thieves' cant gestures to open the conversation about the name she heard Skolma say days ago.
Do you remember the name?
Carcerix.
Okay.
So
And
she's
you-
gonna catch Skolna's eye first, and then try to be as natural as possible.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Natural 19 for a 27.
When you first catch Skolna's eye, she isn't sure what you're doing until she suddenly realizes that the movements you are making are intentional. She realizes that you are signaling thieves' cant to her. She kind of narrows her eyes. She then sits uncomfortably close to you.
Oh.
Where did you hear that name?
You.
What?
I heard you mumble it under your breath a couple days ago. I figured it was something you didn't want anyone to hear, so I didn't say it.
You were right.
I wanted to give you the option to talk about it if you wanted to.
Why?
Because it's obviously important to you.
He's the leech that made me kill my family.
I had a feeling that might be the case. You can say as much or as little as you want about it. I just wanted you to know that I'll always keep your secrets if you want them to.
I mean, it's not really a secret. But it's not something I tell anybody. I want him to burn.
Yeah.
I want him and his family and his followers to burn. And I want him to be the one that does it, so that he knows what it feels like. But I don't have any way of doing that.
I think I could figure out a thing or two.
I want him to know the pain. I want him to see. And I want him to see me before he dies, so he knows that it was me. The nothing that he thought I was that came back to ruin him.
Okay. We have a goal to work toward.
Are you sure this is something you want to do?
Yeah, entirely sure. You're here with me. That means I'm here with you.
When this happens, if this is something you'll help me with, You'll have to do it exactly how I say.
Okay.
Because how I say is how he made me do it.
If it's in my power, I'll do it.
This might change you. It changed me.
I think it's worth it.
Skolna looks at you for a long time, trying to read you. It might be uncomfortable. You might try to look away, but she just
I think
keeps...
Lorna would really valiantly continue to hold that look because she knows Skolna is an intense person.
Skolna's rolling an insight check.
Mhm.
I need you to roll a charisma roll. If you mean what you're saying, persuasion. And if you don't, deception.
Okay. Ugh, it was good and then it wasn't. 12 for persuasion.
Finally, after a long time, Skolna looks away and she says, I hope you know what you're getting into.
Well, I felt the same way when I kind of inducted you into my personal nonsense, so I guess the feeling is mutual.
It's different. I don't like people. I'm damaged. I don't trust anybody. I feel bad about that. Because I used to. I don't go in a room with someone else in it without thinking about how I can end them and leave. I don't think you want to know how many times I've had to think about how I would end you.
I guess that's just good planning.
Yeah. If you help me with this, I don't think I'll ever be able to truly relax. But maybe a little.
I think that makes the whole thing worth it.
As long as he still walks Anth. I can't rest.
Do you think researching in the Arcania might be helpful? Or do you know more about him than I do?
It might be wise to look up ways to kill vampires that I don't know.
Okay.
Especially ones that can feel your thoughts.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be complicated. I'm sure there's magic against it, though. I could learn it.
I think you might be right. I think that amulet might be the first step.
Maybe we all should get one at some point.
Maybe. You know I wouldn't end you unless I had to.
That's why I'm not worried. If you decided you had to, I believe it'd be for a good reason.
For someone who has an evil wizard stuck in her head, you're real trusting.
She's not. She's nuanced.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think you're evil. I think sometimes we have to do things that we think are right. That might not always coincide with what people think is good or evil.
I don't do what I think is right. I do what I think I have to do.
I think that those things are pretty related.
Maybe.
It's right for you. That vampire's family, um, if we accomplish what you want to do, and they perish, they won't think that's right for them, but I don't really care. I don't know them. I don't like them.
Then we'll talk about the specifics when we get closer.
Okay. You can come to me anytime when you want to talk about it. I'll listen.
Last I know, they were in Port Rouge.
Lorna kind of like frowns. Ah. I'm very familiar with that place.
Mm-hmm. Be careful how you say that name around.
Well, hopefully I'll never have to say it.
Yeah. Hopefully. Does the rest of the team know?
She shakes her head.
If we're gonna do this, and they're gonna be involved, they need to know.
Whenever you decide to let them know.
Alright.
Scone's quiet for the rest of the watch.
Can I just insight check her after our conversation ends to see how she's feeling, if at all possible?
Go ahead.
Why do I roll bad? I rolled a 2, so that's an 11. No idea.
Scone is hard to read,
Yep.
which is always the case, but
Huh.
in particular, she seems remarkably guarded.
Mm-hmm.
With an 11, you believe she's probably thinking about stuff,
Yeah.
dark things.
Yeah.
And it is there we will end tonight's session.
Okay.
So, as we come to the end of tonight's From Nothing Lorna story, thank you for playing with me. I hope you had a good time. And to those of you who are at home or at work listening, we love you, and I cannot wait to see you next time.
No hi, Pen.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Pen. Hi, Emily.
Hi,
Hi,
Pen.
everybody else.
Hi, Emily. Sometimes class.
Good night, everybody.